And this is why they say it's you versus you. It's not you versus the external environment, because you can't change the external environment, and you shouldn't let the external environment change you. This, over here on this side of the line, is your internal state. This is your lane. And in your lane are the things that you can control, which is your thoughts, your emotions, and your behavioral choices, your core beliefs, your perceptions, and your attitudes. Over here, on this side of the line, is the external environment and everything in it. Macro level systems, other people, places, and things. What they think, how they feel, and how they behave. Their core beliefs, their attitudes, and their perceptions. This is not your lane, and these are the things that you cannot control. Your adult children, your spouse, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your boss, your neighbor, the person who cut you off on the highway, the person who sent you the nasty email, the person in the comment section online, random strangers in the community, your immediate family, your loved ones. Everybody falls into this category. This is related to the dichotomy of control, which was developed by Epictetus, who stated that things fall into one of two categories: the things that you can control, which is your thoughts, emotions, and internal state, and the things that you cannot control, which is basically everything else. For those people that are religious, this can be likened to the serenity prayer. Grant me the serenity to accept the things that I cannot change, the courage to change the things that I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Grant me the serenity to accept the people that I cannot change, the courage to change the one I can, and the wisdom to know that that person is me. You don't have to be religious to understand the premise. Serenity or peace is found in staying focused on what you can control and not mixing it up. You have to stay right here and stay focused on the only thing that you have control over, which is your thoughts and your emotions, which is a difficult assignment in and of itself. So difficult, in fact, that we don't have time to go over there and try to control that which we cannot control. And yet so many people do that. And why do they? Why don't they just stay here and focus on themselves? You see, because if you don't know how to control and regulate your thoughts and your emotions, cultivate peace and serenity, emotional well-being, and feel good in your own skin, then you make the mistake of coming over here trying to control external people, places, and things. And when you get lucky and all of those pieces fall into place, then you feel good inside. But it's a setup, because you can't control external people, places, and things consistently over a period of time. Eventually, the external environment is going to do what it's going to do. And then you're going to find yourself upset, frustrated, and emotionally dysregulated. It's a recipe for insanity. You can't control the external environment, and you shouldn't let the external environment control you. That's the opposite. You have to stay right here in your lane and focus on what you can control, and you can't let anything or anyone from the external environment come over into your lane and steal your peace and serenity. Some of these people over here, they want to push your buttons, and then you're going to let them rent space inside your head for free? No, because if you let them control your emotions, then they'll play you, and they become the puppeteer pulling all of the strings. They'll throw it out on a string and they'll tug it, waiting for you to take the bait. And the moment you take the bait, they'll own you, and you will forever be a victim, and you will live in a victim mentality, forever blaming the external environment for the way that you feel internally. Now, it's understandable that some people might have legitimately hurt you, and it's okay for you to feel hurt. But how long you stay hurt, that's a choice. See, because if they hurt you one time, that's fine. But if you let them come over into your lane, into your head, into your heart, and stay there, then they didn't just hurt you one time. You're letting them repeatedly hurt you over a period of time. Don't let them come in your lane, in your head, in your heart. Kick them out. Reaffirm boundaries and then regain control of the only thing that you should have control over. How long you stay hurt, that's a choice. How long you want to wait before you forgive, before you let go, before you move forward, before you start healing, it's a choice. You can't control it, and you shouldn't let it control you. Trauma is not the external event that happens to us. Trauma is the internal wound that we sustain inside. Trauma is the leftover remnants that live inside our memories, and our body. And it's not your fault if you were the victim of an event in the external that wounded you. But how long you stay wounded, that's a choice. How long you want to wait before you go from trauma, from PTSD to PTG, that's a choice. How long you want to wait before you hit pause, develop a circle of support, seek out treatment, pick up tools, and start your healing process, that's a choice. Now, it's understandable that we're going to react to our environment. We're not impervious. We're intertwined with our environment, and we're designed to be assessing our environment, making sure that we're safe, assessing as to whether or not there's a threat. And when there is a threat, it only takes 500 milliseconds for the amygdala to get activated, for us to go into the sympathetic nervous system, blood flow to our extremities, increase heart rate and respiration, preparing us to fight or flee, which we might need to do if there is a threat. It's instantaneous, it's effortless, and it's unconscious. It happens just like that, and it's gonna happen. But we can't live there because it's a stress mechanism. It stresses the body, it creates inflammation, it'll downregulate genes and open the door up to disease. It releases adrenaline and cortisol. It'll biologically age the chromosome protecting telomeres, bringing us to premature death. It'll burn the furniture in order to survive the winter. It's not healthy for you to constantly be reacting to the external environment. We have to learn how to respond rather than react. Now, are there certain systems in the external environment, political systems, economic systems, systems of oppression that will negatively impact and hurt individuals? Yes. And we have to continue to fight and advocate for systemic changes so people don't suffer. We cannot wait for those systems to change in order for us to change, because those systems are changing so slow that we'll be dead. You can't wait for the systems to change in order for you to change. You can't wait for the external environment to change in order for you to change. You can't wait for external people, places, and things to change in order for you to change. You can't wait for your family to change in order for you to change and heal. You can't control it, and you shouldn't let it come over here and control you. And this is why they say it's you versus you. It's not you versus the external environment, because you can't change the external environment, and you shouldn't let the external environment change you. So when the dust settles, what you're left with is you in your lane, focused on your emotional regulation, regardless of what's going on in the external environment. It's about your ability to respond rather than react. It's about achieving response flexibility. It's about achieving autonomy and agency. It's about your ability to bounce back and achieve resiliency in the face of adversity. It's about your ability to stay grounded, balanced. It's about your ability to practice stress management regardless of the external stressors in your life. It's about your ability to empower yourself so that you don't live in a victim mentality. It's about your ability to go from sympathetic to parasympathetic, calming your amygdala down, reintegrating your prefrontal cortex so that you can be strategic, rational, and logical. It's you versus you. It's me versus me. It's me in my lane, focused on my breath, on my affirmations, on my core belief, on my self-discipline, on my reading, on my writing, on my exercise, on my nutrition. It's me focused on my dreams, on my goal, on my vision. You have to stay in your lane and focus on the only thing that you have control over. And you can't let anything or anyone come over and steal it from you.
Timber approves this message.